But your company is good, no? It's a very good company because
Yeah, yes. Client is Dell.
oh, client is Dell.
Mm.
Okay. And you will not have night shifts, right? Probably
No, we have night shifts.
you have night shifts. Okay, okay.
Mm.
One of my junior is there in Deloitte. Like he used to work with me in the same company. So he does not have any night shifts there, and he got package from 7 to 17. Okay, 7.5 to 17.
They will give you a
Deloitte.
good package, bro. Dell.
Yeah, Deloitte. Yeah, Dell also okay, good, right?
Yes.
Because see, storage people are less, storage people are less, so that's why
Now, which company, bro? Which company he got?
they have
Mm.
package. So what is storage grid? So storage grid is basically a software defined object storage. Okay, so it is software defined object storage. Okay, object storage means it's an active archive solution. One second, active archiving solution. Okay, so it's active archiving. Okay, so basically the storage grid will have some policy driven software. Okay, so it will store your normal files. It will protect using different kind of cross grid replication technologies. Okay, and you can have the data for longer period of time. Okay, and storage grid uses S3 protocol we have in Amazon S3, right? So Amazon like simple storage service. Okay, so it uses that same protocol. Okay, so you can have the storage grid run on our on-premise storages, or you can also have it in, like we can have it in virtual nodes like VMware. We can have it in bare metal nodes like on our physical servers. Okay, so we can have those things. Okay, so basically, normally in storage, what we use? We use block storage or file storage. Okay, but we also have object storage where we'll just upload the files and data from somewhere. Okay, so like in Amazon S3 also we create buckets and everything, right? So here also same, we create the same thing. Okay, so let me just open the storage grid. One second, I need to open the Firefox. So you have the things in grid manager. So let me just give the password. I've also started one batch for storage automation, so that is also doing that. Okay, so this is the storage grid. Okay, so you can check from here. You can check. Let me just scroll it down. You can check this is the health status. Okay, you can check here license. So you can check there is some one problem with the license. Okay, let me go to dashboard again. Okay, and you can check many more things here. Okay, so here what you can check is if you go above here, you can check here the data centers. If you want to check the nodes, right, you can check the nodes here. Okay, so these are the nodes you have. So in storage grid you have three type of nodes. Okay, so one is admin node. Okay, so what is admin node? So in storage grid you need to have the system configurations, monitoring and logging, right? So this admin node will do the things. Okay, so when you log into this grid manager, right, we are basically connecting to the admin node. Okay, so in storage grid by default we should have one primary admin node, and we can have more admin nodes just for redundancy. Okay, and then we have second type of nodes which is like storage node. So what is this? So basically in object storage we store the object data, right, and metadata, right? So the storage node will help us to do that. So it will manage and store the object data. Okay, so normally in storage grid, right, suppose you have only one node, right? So in storage grid, suppose you are having one admin node, you should have at least three storage nodes. Okay, at least three storage nodes you have, and then you have one more node which is gateway node. Okay, so basically these gateway nodes are basically, these are optional. If you need a load balancing for your client applications that you're connecting to storage grid to, so different multipathing you can call it like multipathing software. So if you want to have multipath connections to the storage grid, then you need gateway node. Okay, so what it will do, this gateway node or load balancer will direct the client to the optimal storage node. Okay, so optimal storage means for direct path. Okay, so because this gateway is basically optional, so when you want really load balancing, so you need to have that. Okay, and if you want I mean, you can either use the storage node, I mean the gateway node, for load balancing, or you can have some external hardware load balancer. You can have external hardware load balancer. Okay, I forgot the load balancer name, but I used to work on 2011, I did that. Okay, there is some load balancing software there or hardware, so you can use that to load balance it. Or you can have the load balancer service on this gateway node. So you can have the gateway node, you can have the license for the gateway node, and you can install the service, load balancer service, in the gateway node. So both are possible. So here we can see is, if we go here above overview, we have 3 data centers here. Okay, and if I go to data center 1, what you can see, this is data center 1, right? So if you go to the storage, you'll be see the storage metadata and everything, objects, like what objects we have. Okay, we'll have like S3, like the simple storage service, this diagram it will have. Okay, the throughput. Okay, so whenever here it shows like migrate, right? Whenever we're installing a storage grid, we have to name that storage grid. Okay, we can choose any type of names. Okay, so it's not a problem. Let me go here. If we go to nodes, so here we'll be seeing the nodes. Okay, so you can see here we have 3 nodes here. One is primary admin node, one is gateway node, and is storage node. Okay, for data center 1, we have 3 data centers, right? So every data center will have this nodes. So here you see the first data center was having 3 storage nodes. So as I said, you'll have 3 storage node, and by default you will have 1 primary node. You can have secondary for load balancing, and gateway nodes are optional. You can have external load balancer also instead of gateway node. Okay, so this is also you can have. So every data center is having 3 storage node and 1 primary node. Okay, 1 gateway node. Okay, so this is the one you are having. Okay, so you will get all these things. And if you want to check more about the hardwares, okay, suppose you go to some storage node. Okay, and you want to check the hardwares. Okay, so you can, this is the graph, so you can check the, this is the overview. Okay, so 1 second. So you can check the IP addresses, all these things you can check what are the IP addresses there. Okay, and if you go to the hardware tab, what you can see, you can go to the CPU, you can go to the CPU utilization. Okay, you can see this. Okay, so you can you'll be able to see this. You can see the memory usage. Okay, all these things you'll be able to see. Okay, and suppose you want to go to the storage, this one, this is optional, right? Gateway, this is the gateway node, right? So if you want to check the load balancer, okay, you will get the traffic, whatever the traffic you're getting. Okay, go to the, suppose you go to the request traffic, right? Here there is no data, but normally you see the load balancing happening here. Okay, load balancing endpoints and everything. So this thing you don't normally need to know. Load balancer means that, so you have one application that traffic will go to 3 endpoints. Okay, and I have worked on load balancer software back in 2011. It's just a networking software. So here this is load balancer. You have to install the load balancer software on the gateway node, and the gateway node will work as the load balancer. Okay, so it will share the different traffic. It will balance it. Okay, so that's something you have to do. And there are a lot of things you can do with this. Okay, so and main thing about this storage grid is tenant. Okay, not only storage grid, in HCS Hitachi command suite, right? So Hitachi command suite, sorry, HCP Hitachi content platform, right? So these are object storage, and there also we need to create tenants. Here also we need to create tenants. So what is basically tenants? So storage grid is basically, it's a software defined object storage solution, right? So you can have multiple geographically dispersed sites, like one in Chessington, one in Dorking, one in Mumbai, one in Chennai. Okay, and whenever you have the data, right, you do not want to spend a lot of money on SSD disk. So what you do, you choose a backup solution for your cold data. Yeah. Yeah. So one, you'll have this, you know so you have high performance storage arrays, like all flash arrays. And when you want to store the data, which you want to restore very quickly, but you don't want to spend more money on storage arrays, so you can adopt for a solution like object storage, software defined object storage as storage grid. Or Hitachi, it is Hitachi content platform. Okay, in Hitachi content platform we don't do much things. The only thing we do is that we expand the pool, and we increase the quota of namespace. Okay, so here also you have same thing. I'll show you this.
Hyper-converged platform.
Yeah, what are you saying?
CP means hyper-converged platform, right? That is
No,
or
no, no,
Hitachi.
no, not hyperconvergence. This is a Hitachi content platform.
Okay.
Hyperconvergence is different. Hyperconvergence means what? It will have your server, your storage, your network, everything in a box, like SimpliVity and Nutanix, VBlock.
Okay. In
VBlock,
storage grid, we can connect multiple data center.
multiple data center in storage grid, right? Yes, yes, you can replicate between multiple data centers. Yes, yes, you can do that. So
Sure.
next session, these ones after, tomorrow session or day after tomorrow session, so I'll show you storage grid replication. This is storage grid management, and then I show you storage grid replication. So normally, if you know your how to create all these things and how to replicate, that is enough. Okay, so storage grid, right? So you know that one physical server can support many virtual server, right? So if you have one ESX server, you can have many VM there, right? So storage it also will have like similar thing, like you have tenant, right? The tenants are for multi-tenancy features. So you have different clients. For different clients you can create tenants. Like in NetApp we create IP space, right, for different tenants. In Hitachi we create SLPR, storage logical partitions. Okay, so in NetApp we create tenants. Okay, I mean in storage grid we create tenants. In NetApp ONTAP we create uh, IP space. The storage grid uses the software Centricity. It's not ONTAP. Okay, so the commands are different if you do say line. Okay, so what we are doing for multi-tenancy, we are creating different tenants which will have their own users, groups, and S3 buckets. Okay, and each tenant can have their local user and groups, or they can use also LDAP users. Okay, and we can have different kind of authentications like Active Directory, Azure Active Directory, Open LDAP, Oracle Directory Server. So different kind of authentication we can integrate with our storage grid. If it is Active Directory is there, right, so we'll be using domain admin users, right? Domain users, we don't need to create local users, right? So we can do that. So depending upon when if you are working for a large organizations where you have different kind of departments like finance, sales, so you can have like you can create each different tenant for each department. Okay, and you can have different kind of domains integrated with that different tenants, so you can do that. Okay, so let me just try to create this thing tenants in Hitachi command suite also, sorry, Hitachi content platform also we create tenants. Okay, so here you can see, right, there is already one tenant created. If you go here, you'll be able to see this thing, so here what you can see the tenant ID, you can see the protocol, which is object count is one, means one object is uploaded here. Okay, space used, you can see. Okay, you can see here what is there. Only one bucket is installed. Okay, you can see one bucket is uploaded. Okay, demo bucket. Okay, and it's in US East region. Here also availability zones and regions will be there, like we have in Amazon, right? So we have those things. Okay, so if you want to create a tenant, you can easily create a tenant. Let me show you how to create that. Okay, 1 second. Okay,
Means it's nothing but bucket, right? Bucket, like in a cloud.
yeah, no, tenant is like you can say like EC2 server, you can call it like EC2 server. And then you are uploading the bucket. I mean, you're creating bucket and uploading data files on the bucket, which is hosted on the EC2 server. You can call like that.
Okay.
It's like a VM. Okay. So normally, you have been working for many years, right? You know that normally to work in storage, you just need to know basic things, right? You know that, right? And, and you can work on more advanced stuff once you know the basic. You can work on more advanced stuff, right? You know that when we struggle a lot, when you're not able to do something, we always go to vendor, or we always try to see the you know KV article something, right? So
Correct.
here you can see the my tenant, right? And client library is S3. Okay, storage quota everywhere you cried, right? In HCS, in HCP also, Hitachi Control Platform, storage quota will be there. A day for yesterday, we had one issue like backup team were asking us to increase 20 TB quota. So what I did, I was not able to. So what I did, I first went to the HCP node, and there I increased the pool, and then I came to the tenant from there, and then I increased the quota. You cannot directly increase the quota without increasing the pool size. Okay, so these are the thing. So here we are using S3, not a problem. Okay, so storage quota is optional. We can have like quota, or you can just you can give no quota. It's not a problem. Okay, so allow here you'll get more informations. Okay, so here they're asking that whether you want to use cloud mirror. So that's a mirroring service. Okay, so then you need to use this. It is asking, okay, use identity source. So it is saying that it is having your own identity source. What is identity source? Means private key and public key, like you use in Amazon, right? When you create a EC2 instance, you configure the keys, right, using the configure command. Same thing here, you'll have public keys, private keys. Okay, and if it is disabled, then single sign on is there. Allow st select. So what is this? So basically what is asking that, you can use the S3 to filter the data, filter and retrieve the data. You can use this API. Okay. In Terraform we use data services to filter it. Okay, like similar thing. And here federation connection. Okay. So basically it is disabled because what is this is because we have to integrate both grids. We need to have two different grids. Here we have only my grid, right? Suppose you have my grid 1, my grid 2. When you integrate, like connect two different grids, then this option will be there. Because what is this? This is for replication, this is for mirroring, this is for mirroring, this is for cross grid replication. Okay, so this is disabled because we are not connecting anything here. The second lab will have this thing. Okay, so if you want, we can enable this thing or just leave it. Okay, so 1 second, let me go down, go down, continue. Yeah, now here I have to give the username password. Okay, so 1 second. So username is always root here. The password I need to provide. So it will create the tenant, not a problem. If you want to sign on, you can sign on. It's just, I'll just finish it. Okay, So you'll see this tenant here. Okay, so there is 0 bytes, so no bucket is created, no object is uploaded in the bucket, so there is nothing there. Okay, so here we have checked this LOD tenant, and we have created a new tenant, my tenant. Okay, so now we'll do more things to manage these tenants. Okay, so as I said, suppose you have different departments, so you are having different tenants, so they can manage their own user and object storage. Okay, so as a storage admin, we can create user and upload files to a bucket. Okay, and we can delegate the different users. Okay, so let me just do this. So this is the one that was created initially. Okay, so here we're giving this, so let me log into here. So 1 second, let me go here, go here. Yeah, so here you can see the tenant data, right? The name, ID, and all these things, like platform service enabled, so you can see all these things. Okay, and if you want to create any users, groups, or anything, you can create from here, right? So if I want to create groups, we can create the groups here. Okay, suppose we have some we want some developer to use some buckets. Okay, only for developers, so we can create a group for developers. So like developers group. Okay, okay, continue. Now what I have to do, I have to select the group permissions. I need to set the group permissions. Okay, so I can select like read write or read only. Okay, this is access mode. So here is giving like the permissions that you can set. Okay, so here I'm giving read write, and if I go down below, so group permissions, right? So I will give permissions like manage all buckets, so it can manage all the buckets. Okay, and manage your own st credentials. Yes, I will give this permission to manage my own credentials. Okay, use st console tab. So here it's managing means it will manage, and it can filter the objects also. Okay, so these are the options I can give. Okay, and we can also give like view all buckets if I want. So not required. Now the thing I need to do is I need to set up the S3 group policy. Okay, so we have the objects and everything, right? So uh, basically we can check, we can tell like what the group policy is there, whether the non-root access, like normal access, whether they can have access or not. So basically non-root users will have no access by default, and if you want you can give full access also, so we'll give full access. Yet and we'll give full access. Okay, okay, so we'll give full access. Okay, so these are the things it's giving. Okay, this is what is this, this is a JSON file. Okay, this is a JSON entry. Okay, Java object, like JavaScript object notification. Okay, is very this uses in HTTPS, like normally for front end it's used. Okay, so this storage grid is always using this JSON, or you can call it like this policy. Okay, in in right in cloud also we create policy, different policies, right? Here also it's a policy. Okay, so this policy you can see that effect allow action S3 resources this all. Okay, if you get like read only resource, then this option will come like what is the actions. So here get object, get list. In in programming, when you are creating a web app, right, we have you use different kind of objects. Okay, different kind of modules. Okay, like get, put, patch, update. So get is for just to see the things. Okay, And you can create your no you can create no access also. No access will not have anything, any AWS policy. Okay, any AWS policy, like it's a AWS policy language, you can say. Okay, the way AWS will do custom policy, you can do, you can create your own JSON formatting string. Okay, and you can create that here. Okay, so I use the same thing when I use create Terraform, right? So I use the JSON formatting. Okay, there. And when you use Ansible, right, in Ansible there are two formats. One is YML format, and there was another format, and I forgot the name of the format, but that's like similar to JSON. Okay, so which you can do this. So we can create, as I said, we can create custom policy also. Okay, like suppose we want to use the user's home directory. Okay, so or we want to match some bucket which you can view. So all these things we can do, like filter out some buckets. So we can do this. Okay, so we'll give like full access, little bit go down, continue, and we'll create the group. Okay, finish. Now you can see the device, this group is created. Okay, the developer group is created. Okay, and if you want to use if you want to manage the users, then we can manage the users also. We can create the users and all. We can create the local users, or we can have LDAP authentication or Azure AD, if you indicate Azure AD. Okay, because every cloud is having object storage, not only Amazon. But as you know, Terraform, not Terraform, I mean your Blue XP, NetApp Blue XP, right? It only supports Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. It does not support Oracle Cloud or any other cloud, OpenStack or anything. Okay, so here you see the root account is created. Root is the admin account. Okay, it's a local account. Okay, if you want to create any user, you can create. Suppose for developer group I want to create some users, I can create it. So let me just create some user here. Name is day1, password. That's correct. Yeah. Okay, do you want to prevent this access? Okay, yes. So this asking that, uh, it's denying access. Means it's asking that user, I mean whatever the group permission is there, right? So do you want this user to use that group permission, or you want to, what do you want to do? Okay, so we can like we can we are going to deny this, so we just use the group permissions. Okay, so we have this developer group, so it's, we can assign this to group because we have only one group created. So we'll assign the user to this group, so it will have the default permissions, and we'll create the users. Okay, finish. Okay, so these are the users created. So root, I will try to use with some other user that I've created. So I will just sign out here. So normally when you have some local user something, right, like it will not have access to the grid manager. Normally only the root access will have the grid manager, but sometimes you need to have some other users that you need to, which you need to log into the S3 API, and you need to use that. I mean the other user needs to upload some files in the bucket. Okay, so you don't want to give the admin user, because admin user can do change the things in storage grid, so you don't want that. Okay, so we can create like access keys also, like private key, public key, like we create in Amazon. Same thing we can do. Okay, so if you want to log in, so let me just, so we have created the user, right? Sign in. So you see we have logged in into this is a new developer user. Okay, we have logged in here using this user. Okay, Now here my access, if you go here, you'll get like my access keys. Okay, so here you can create your own keys. Okay, the thing is, you see here, right, initially the access management was there, but here access management is not there, so you cannot create any users or groups with some other user. You can only have to use the root user for that. Okay, okay, so, so let me create the key. Okay, key re baba re pagal. 1 second. So here do not set an expiration time. You can have this, or you can set an expiration time when your access will be expired. 1 second, just give me 1 moment. Yeah, let me just start this again. So you can have this expiration, so you can expire like 30 days, 40 days, something like that you can do. Okay, so you'll have your expired this thing. Okay, so we'll put like no expiration here, go with the access key. Okay, you need to download this CSV file which you'll use later on. Okay, because if you do not download, we cannot access it again. So let me finish this. Okay, see, only the last part is visible. It's there. Okay, only last part is visible. Okay, so now we'll check more about buckets. So these are the buckets. So demo bucket is there. Okay, so if you go to the demo buckets, what you can see here, so you see more information about the bucket, like which region, when it was created, what is the object. Okay, you see all these things. And if you go to the S3 console, okay, you see the the these things you'll see. Okay, access key ID and secrets key ID. Okay, so basically these are the access keys you'll see. And we already have the access keys, right, that we created. So we'll upload the access key, so which will be like let me go to the download. Okay, open, sign in. See, I'm able to sign in using the access keys. So these are the the document, the text document that is uploaded, okay, in the bucket. Okay, and so okay, and see here, if you go here, right, here is upload option is there. Okay, if you want, you can upload also, or if you go here, you can, there are options like download, delete, rename. So these options are there. Okay, so basically in object storage, your application will add and manage object storage. Okay, so this S3 console, right, you'll provide this URL. You provide the URL to the application, and it will like this URL, and it will do this. Okay, you'll give the access key and the access keys, so that it can log into the bucket and it can do its activity. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, and you can do a lot of other stuff also using this. So let me just show you more things on this. So let us take a 5 minutes break. Okay, let us take a 5 minutes break. Are you guys there? Are you guys there? Hello?
Yes, yes.
What about today?
Yeah, hi, bro.
So in object storage we have information lifecycle management. So when we act as a storage admin, we'll have different requests from different departments to store their data. Okay, so probably we have sales department and some other department. Suppose some department has lower budget, so they want lower cost storage for object in a specific bucket. Okay, and they'll probably it'll have some eraser coding, like they want the data to have some durability, and they want to use some cost efficient storage, and they also want data integrity. So for that, we'll have this eraser coding feature. What is this eraser coding? This eraser coding is basically it will add an parity to an object, so when there is some data loss, it can recover the data from the parity, like similar to red group. Okay, so that will have for ILM, information lifecycle management. Okay, so in storage kit we'll have different kind of storage pool. Okay, there we'll have this eraser coding. So this ILM, this information lifecycle management, will have some rules and policies, so which will determine how the objects are stored in the storage grid. Okay, so with ILM we'll have the objects assigned to storage pool, and the ILM will allow the company to manage how objects are stored through the life cycle of the data, like when it will be deleted, when it's expired. Okay, so every object will have some age. After the age, it can be deleted or it can be removed. Okay, so depending on that, we'll do that. Okay, so let me just create all these things. Okay, so once again, I can sign it out. Let me sign it out. Okay. So this is my storage grid. Okay, so here you'll have this ILM, and here you'll have the pools, storage pools. Okay, so here we are having three data centers, data center 1, 2, 3. These are nothing but the storage pool. Okay, so basically this was initially configured. The storage pool, basically the storage pool, what it will do, it will allow us to organize the data with specific criteria, like we can have like some aging policy. Okay, so you'll have this. So let me click on to one data center to show this. Data center 1, so you can see this data center 1 is having 3 node count. So, okay, so 3 nodes, the one side is there. Okay, let me go down. These are the nodes there. Okay, if I go to the ILM, information lifecycle management, so these are the things. No eraser coding profiles used, means we do not পরে কল করছি, মিটিং না স্যার, ট্রেনিং দিচ্ছে। হ্যাঁ, পরে কল করছি, ট্রেনিং দিচ্ছি, ট্রেনিং ঠিক আছে। So here what we are doing is we do not have any no eraser coding. So what does no eraser coding does? It will have some aging policy, so when this will be expired. Okay, so we do not have it here. Okay, and here we are having one copy per site. If you click here, so it is giving these options. Okay, like your retention periods and everything it will give. Okay, so it is allowing you to do one copy per site. Like suppose you have two different storage here, so it will allow you to copy only one time. Okay, like it will it will allow you to keep only one copy. Okay, at the remote side. Okay, so that is there. Okay, and one second, and if you go to rules, so these are rules you can see. Okay, one copy per ILM rules. So here you can see here the rules you are having, like this rule that is created, one copy per site. Okay, if you click onto this rule, okay, so what you can see, so this is the default rule that is created normally. when you are installing the storage grid. So uh, during the time of installation, this policy will be created. And if you see, this is basically an active policy, so this is basically active. Okay, so here you can see ingest, here reference time is ingest time. Okay, so what it means, it means whenever the objects whenever the objects are uploaded to the grid, it will be evaluated against this rule. Okay, that one copy per site is there. So you are in bucket, suppose you are uploading same objects. Okay, but you will only have one copy per site. Okay, so that is what it will do. And then if you go down here, okay, if you go down here, what you can see here, day zero forever, right? You can see all these things. Okay, so here what is doing, you will have three different storage pools, right? Okay, so the objects are placed into these three different storage pools at the ingest time, means when it is evaluated that only one copy per site will be there. Okay, and day zero forever, so as long as they exist, it will be it will be kept. So as long as the data is there, it will be kept, it will not be deleted. Okay, and if you go to the placement instructions, okay, so what you can see here, you can see this data here. Okay, so here we are seeing like one copy, right? So one copy will be there, replicate one copy of data center one. So one copy will be there in each data center, that is each storage pools. Okay, so that is what you think. It is because of the one copy per site policy. So one copy at every site it will be there. Okay, so like this policy, one copy per site. Okay, and here this is there. Okay, no problem. Okay, if you just click on this, you'll have more options, like you can clone this ILM rules. You can here this option is not there, you can do this. Okay, so and normally the thing is, you will have some different kind of tags also using these policies. Okay, different kind of tags also you can have. Here the tag is like default tag. Okay, this is by default policy. So you can it means what, it means that the store object, whenever they are stored, right, they are ingested. Okay, and one copy of an object will be replicated to each of the three sites. So we'll have three copy an object. Okay, because we are having three sites here, three storage pool. Okay, so here if you go to the we know that in the we had seen the demo bucket, right? So we have the demo bucket, so we had some data in the demo bucket, right? So we need to have one copy, right? So if you go to the so we can have like we should have like one copy per site, right? Because of the demo bucket, right? Okay, so let me go down below, just a little bit below. Here you'll have the metadata means how the data is stored. Okay, okay, and we remember that we have the data, right? We have the bucket, right? Demo bucket, we know we had the demo bucket, right? So we'll go the demo bucket, and the file we had is readme.txt, right? You remember that, readme.txt. Okay, so let me look it up. So you can see here, right? So you can see what you can see here, replicated copies. So every site will have one copy, because one copy per site we have the policy we have created. Okay, and this is like AWS service policy according to this JSON. Okay, JSON format. So we'll have this format, like IDs and all. We'll have this location type, ID, object file path, all these things will be here. Okay, and if you see here, if you go above here, what you can see here, you see like three update copies, right? You can see here three copies, right? One copy per each site. Okay, because of one object per one copy per site policy. Okay, you see that. Okay, And now if you want to create some storage pool, right, you can create that. How do you create that? You go to the storage pool, okay, and basically why you are using storage pool, because if you want to use some eraser coding, like give some aging policy, you can have that, or you can create some redundancy using, or fault tolerance using the parity policy like ILM, so you can have that. And you can have suppose in the above example, that was what we did, was we stored many copies of an object, right, in three different sites, right, one copy per site, right, okay. But what you can do is that we can break the object into different parts. We can have we can compute the parity, okay. So if the part is bad, right, the object can be reconstructed from the parity. So that is a like very fault tolerance like part which you can have here. Like in storage, what you do is normal storage, we have the RAID groups. In NetApp we have RAID 4, RAID DP, RAID TUC. In Hitachi we have RAID 5, RAID 6, RAID 10, RAID 1, RAID 0, okay. Like that we have different, but here what we have is parity in storage pool, okay. So if there is some problem with any part, it can reconstruct from the parity, okay. So let me create the storage pool. We can keep the storage pool name as EC, okay. And here we can select the data center like site where we will create the storage pool to, okay. Okay, here what options, the default active archive nodes, but we want to have all the storage grades, okay, like all the storage pool. So now these are the storage these are all the data center, that is that these are the storage storage nodes are there. We know three nodes are there. One is primary node, admin node, and then we'll have three storage node against every node, every storage gate, every side you can say. And then we'll have we can have optional gateway node for load balancing, okay. So here we are selecting the storage nodes because every data will be there in storage node only, data buckets and everything, okay. So normally here what you are doing is, here we are using only one node here, but if you have a production system, then you should use at least two nodes, okay, at least have two nodes, okay. So normally when you use any parity group, parity like eraser coding scheme, right, what you are using here, so we need to have 2 plus 1, 3 nodes, okay. And if you have more money, then basically you should go for 4 nodes, okay. So normally they have in NetApp on tap NetApp support side, you'll have some document where you can find out the recommendations about how many node you have for how many storage gates. So like how what are the best practices are there, so you can get from there, okay. So this thing you can do. So we'll just go with the default, okay. If you want to add more nodes, you can add here, okay, but we'll not do that. Cancel. Just create it again, 1 second. That is fine. That is fine. That is fine. Yeah, save. Okay, so we have saved this. Okay, so we'll be able to see the storage pool now. If we go down more, 1 second. EC pool is the one that we created. Okay, so we have this activity. So let me go to the storage pool. We can see here 3 node count, 1 site count, nodes. You see all the storage nodes here. ILM usage, we have not created any ILM rules, so we'll create the ILM rule, okay. So we'll go to the rules. 1 second. We have not configured anything, that is fine, okay. So we'll go to the rules and we'll start creating the rules, okay. So for that storage pool, you can create some rule like EC rule, okay, which should be like eraser rule, okay. So you can have like a department like sales department or something, okay. So for that we can have, or any other department, that's not a problem. and here we need to select the count. We can have like LOD cloud, LOD tenant, or we can have like my tenant, that which you created previously. Okay, and applies to all buckets is fine. Or we can filter out with some like content. Some buckets will have names, some names, right? Equals like just exact one bucket. Okay, so we can have different kind of filtering criteria here, like we do in Hitachi. Okay, and now apply this to older object versions. So in object storage we have the versioning, bucket versioning, right? So here also we can have the bucket versioning enabled. Like suppose we have some version 1 like in 2011, 2013, version 2, like different years we can have, or different time we can have, and we want to restore it. We want to suppose we had some problem with the recent versions, we want to use the older versions, then we can do that. Okay, so we can have versioning also. Okay, so a lot of things we can do. Okay, what is this? Okay, so here the bucket name, right? We know the bucket we have already there, which is demo. We know that, so we'll use this one. Okay, yes. Okay, what is happening? What the hell is this? Leave it. Okay, so let me just continue this. Okay, so now what we are having is, we are having this information, right? Ingest time and everything. Okay, yeah. So the reference time is, ingest time is whenever we are uploading it will do, or last access time when you are accessing at the last time it will do, and define creation time. So define creation means the time when you created the bucket, right? So it is like define creation time. So you can use any of these times. Okay, so yeah, and then we have this in this rule, right? So here you can define this placement. Okay, you can see the placement. Okay, replicating 2 2 2. Okay, so we can have the time period, we can set up the time period and placement. Okay, so that we can define different locations of an object over the period it is valid, like over the period it exists in the bucket. Okay, so we can have this. Okay, and we can set the number of days also. You can see here for each time period we can set it. We can set it like forever also. Okay, from zero state to store forever from day 0. Okay, or we can have like different things also. Okay, so normally what happens, normally suppose for example, we are trying to keep 5 copies, right? So, and after 90 days we want only 3 copies, and after a year we can want less. Okay, less, like 2 copies, to have lesser space, I mean utilization. So we can do that. Okay, so let me just do here. In here we have like eraser coding or object replicating. We'll have 2 options here. Okay, so we can use any of the options. Okay, suppose we want to use eraser coding, right? So you need to mention the eraser coding scheme that you use. Okay, so here you can use a particular storage pool here that you want to use, and we have not created the scheme here. Okay, so you can select this any of the data center, and it will come here. Okay, so here 2 plus 1. Okay, 2 plus 1, but here we do not we do not have that much redundancy or anything. So normally, so what we are doing is we are just using 1, like we're just using 2. Okay, so basically here in this example we're just using only 1 node, we have not added in extra node, but in production system we should have at least 2 plus 1 node. Okay, so just cancel this. Okay, so if you go to this store objects by replicating, we can replicate this to different site, and we can store this object. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, and option is like we here is replicating 2 object copies. to select storage pool, so we can select the storage pool, and we can select the storage pool to the pool that we created now, which is EC pool. Okay, select this. To replicate EC pool, yes, that is fine. And okay, and suppose you know, after this what you can do is you can little bit go down below. This is, you are seeing rule analysis, so 2 copies it will be replicated. Okay, so it will stay forever, from 0 day to forever, so it will not be deleted by the storage grid, so user has to manually delete it. Okay, so you can do this. Okay, or there is some other way of doing it is, let me go to let me go here. If I want to use this eraser coding also, you can do that. Means it will eraser coding also you can do that. Okay, so in this case what will happen, you'll defining parity, so if there is some bad object, so it will try to reconstruct the data from the parity. Okay, so it can do that. So let me just have this, and let me just select the storage pool, which will be EC pool only. 1 second, let me just select the storage pool, which is EC pool, and eraser scheme is 2 plus 1, 2 data and 1 parity. Okay, so like this we'll select this. Okay, yes, and after that if we want to create it, so we'll just continue. Okay, okay, and then here you'll have different options. Okay, like balanced, strict, and this one dual commit. Okay, so if you go to use like here what is saying optimal attention, which it will have the balancing when you are uploading it. Okay, so you can use these options to see, check more about this, when to use this, so it will give you more data protection. Okay, so what is this? So what is doing, so initially I mean intermittently it is copying the data on the ingest, but it's placing the data, I mean placing the object in different sites later. It is doing the placement later. Okay, so you can have anything. So we'll use the default one, which is balanced. Okay, and we will create the rules. So this is the rule that we created. Okay, and so we have created the rule, but we do not have any policy. We need to create policy also. So this is the one that is there. So rule we created, we need to create the policy so that we can assign the rule to the different sites. Okay, different so let me create the policy. So we can add a rule to an existing policy, but we cannot really modify the policy. Suppose the one object per site, right, one copy per site, right, we cannot really modify it. We can add and exist any number of rules to that policy, but we cannot really edit that. I mean we can add the rules, but we cannot edit a policy. Okay, so that's something there. Okay, so let me just go with the policy. So EC policy will have. Okay, and we can select the rules that we created. So we'll go down here and we'll select the rules, that is EC rules that we created now, so which is here, not this one. 1 second. Okay, we are not having that rules here, so we'll be using this one. Okay, so this is the rule. Select other rules. So this is the other rule that we have. So what is this? 1 second, just 1 second. So this is the rule name, one copy per site. Okay, and here we have the other rules. If we want to create the other rules. Okay, so we'll select this. Okay, and we'll save this. It will create the policy. Okay, so go down here. I'll have the policy, but it is inactive, it is not active. Okay, so we have to first verify the policy before activating it. So to verify, you have to do simulations. So we'll do simulations to check whether it's this policy is working or not. Okay, so we'll use the already existing bucket that we have and the data we have. so which is just a demo bucket, and we have the readme file, readme text file. Okay, so txt. Okay, simulate. Let me go down here, finish. Okay, let me go down here, and this is the one. Activate. After the simulation, I'll activate it. Okay, 1 second, wait. Yeah, now it's active, right? So the other one that we had, right, one copy per site, it is inactive now. Now this is the one which is activated. Okay, the one which is activated is now. So original policy that we already had is one copy per site, which is now inactive. Okay, so we can have multiple ILM policies. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, but and we can have different policy tags. Here is the default tag, so that's why it is enabled. So this is the default tag we're using. So we can create like, and we can have default we can have different tags, and we can tag this to the bucket. So here we created a different policy, new policy, which is using this EC tool that we created earlier. Okay, so it is using the ensure coded storage pool, means the parity thing it is having. If there is any bad data, then it can reconstruct data from the parity. And the last this one is just not having the eraser coded. Okay, it was not having the eraser coding. Okay, so now what you can do is we can test our ILM configuration that we do. Okay, so we can test it. So we'll go to the talent manager. Okay, and we'll log in, because we are doing everything for that this tenant only, LOD tenant only, and we are actually doing everything on the demo bucket only. Okay, so we'll just go here. So we logged into the talent manager. Okay, yeah, so you can see the buckets, demo buckets. Okay, it's not a problem. So go here, go to bucket, we can see the demo bucket. We need to go to the bucket. Okay, we can go to the S3 console. So to upload the the thing, so we already have the access keys. Okay, so let me, this access keys already was there. Okay, we downloaded somewhere, means by it was already there, it was not created by us. Okay, so let me just sign in. This LOD tenant was not created by us, it was by default created. Okay, so we logged into the tenant. Okay, so we logged into the bucket. Okay, so this is the bucket, we have the readme text file. Okay, now what you can do is we can upload something. Okay, so that we can check whether the EC rule is working or not. So we can do like upload. Okay, so this is the picture that you can upload. Open. Okay, so it is uploaded. Okay, it is uploaded. Now if we go to the now if you log into the grid manager, which is here, which is this, to look up the data. Okay, so we need to look up this bucket. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, I want to check the data that we just uploaded, which is demo slash, we have the NetApp data, right? So NetApp, this is the file we had. Okay, so we'll look it up. Second. Okay, we have some spelling mistake. Yeah, so here you see this here, right? You go here, go down, you see here, right? EC, you see here, right? 1 plus 2 plus 1 EC pool, you see here, right? So if you go down here, go down here, raw metadata. One second. So basically, what I'm trying to see is that whether the rule is, you know, working or not. So for that, what you can see, EC pool, right? This is the one eraser coding we created, right? 2+1 easy eraser coding, right? So it is already, in place. So it is working that policy. It is that ILM policy. It has already worked on that policy, okay? But if you want to check the AWS service policy data, okay? So you can check here. So this is the logo there, okay, and these are the paths where it is located, everything there, image and all these things. It is long creation time, all these things is there, okay. It is showing here, okay. So basically what we created a storage pool. We created a policy that uses the eraser coding, okay, which is 2+2, so 2+1, and we created ILM policies also, and integrated the rule, and we activated that policy, so that default policy become this EC2 policy. And we checked whether any object that we uploaded, I mean any object that we upload in the bucket, whether it is what policy it is taking. So it is taking EC2 policy only. You can see EC2+1 here. So it is taking that policy. So it is taking 2+1 EC pool. You can see here, right, EC pool. So it is taking the policy. So you are able to see that, okay. And with this policy, it is using the redundancy level because we have the parity level here, okay. Yeah, so do you have any questions, Praveen? Praveen, do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, bro. I will review once, then I will not return.
So this is very easy actually, and these are all the things that you need to do in storage grid, and the
Mhm.
other section that will give is on storage grid application. So this is very easy actually.
Okay,
You
okay.
don't have to do much things.
And what
And
about today's activity? You said something right regarding switch
yeah,
replacement.
that is